Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 20: The Old Barn. Tori's Perspective. It all happens so fast. Dodging trees, flashes of white webs and black spiders. Danny's screaming at me, but I'm too occupied to know what he's saying. My foot gets stuck in a tree branch, taking my whole body down with it. "Danny!" I cry out, but he must not have heard me because he keeps running. I twist my foot around, freeing myself from the branch, looking up just in time to see a giant black and red spider crawling down a tree, looking directly at me. Before I can think, I'm on my feet, running as fast as I can. I see the light breaking through the forest. I must be close to the cornfield. The sound of bloodthirsty spiders become more distant. I think I've finally reached their boundary. "Tori!" I hear Danny yell. "Here!" I call back, stumbling through the bushes, finally reaching the path again. He runs and grabs me. "I'm so sorry. How did I lose you?" he says, holding my head closely to his chest, which is very sweaty, I might add. "I'm okay, but true, how could you leave me?" I hear the words leave my mouth before I've thought of them. I feel very annoyed with him, and I don't know why. I know it was an accident. His face goes white and his eyes drop, handing me back my bracelet. "I'm so sorry," he tells me. I try really hard to let it go, but I can't." "Okay, I guess." He looks up at me, tears welling in his eyes, and Danny doesn't cry around people. "I'm sorry," I say, crossing my arms. "I've just been really irritated lately. I don't mean to be so harsh." He looks at me for a minute, eyes squinting ever so slightly. "When did you start feeling so irritable?" he asks. "I don't know," I say, getting defensive for no reason. "Like after the witch's cottage place or something." He gets an aha look on his face. "What?" I ask, raising an eyebrow. "I think the witch broom might be frustration, like it's emotion that's attached to it," he says, and it all makes sense now. "Well, I don't like this feeling. It's annoying to be so annoyed," I say, and he smiles. Gosh, I must sound crazy. "Do you feel annoyed?" I ask him, and he shakes his head. "Psh, lucky." "Actually," he begins, "I feel rather calm, rested." He stares into space for a bit until my annoyed toe-tapping brings him back to reality. "It must be the dream catcher," he says, taking it from my hands and tying it to the backpack. "Well, that's not fair." I throw my hands up. "You get to be all peaceful and happy, and I get stuck feeling irritated at everything?" "Yeah," he takes my hand gently and pats it. "That sounds pretty rough. Just take a breath." I take my hand back more aggressively than intended, but seriously, who does he think he is, a shaman? "I'll breathe on my own terms, thank you very much." "Remember, Tori, we have to try to control the emotions so that they don't overcome us." And I know he is right, so I calm my feelings and collect my thoughts. "Okay, fine," I say, more relaxed. "But you have to control this peaceful feeling too. You have to be realistic with our situation." He takes a moment to process and come down to earth, or wherever we are. "Okay, yes, my apologies," he answers. "I'll be more practical and less annoying." "Thank you," I say, and we're on our way to the next stop. The sun is getting close to settling, casting a beautiful golden glow over the field. However, it doesn't make me happy. It's not even pretty to me. It's terrifying. Darkness hasn't brought much peace here, so I'm fond of it staying away as long as possible. "Should be right around this corner," Danny tells me, looking at the map. "Now, Tori, this place is, kind of haunted, so don't be surprised if you see any spirits." My lips curl as I try to hold in unkind words. "Spirits! Great," I say, biting my lip. 'Cause why the heck wouldn't this place have spirits? Are they friendly? I ask him, trying my absolute best to be positive. He turns around to smile at me, but it's a weak smile. Maybe they are different spirits than when I was at the barn, he offers, but I'm not betting on it. Finally, some realisticness from this guy, although I liked his first answer better. We are looking for a lost soul, Danny tells me, reading off the paper we were given. A soul? I repeat. We have to find a soul? How do we do that? I toss my hands in the air. How could this place get weirder? A lost soul, Danny emphasizes. Maybe it needs our help. Maybe, I guess, I say. I guess that wouldn't be all that bad. The barn is rusted brown, crooked, and looks like an old version of Dixie's barn. The sun barely peeks over the top of the roof, giving us less than an hour before sundown. I look at Danny, seeing if he has any reaction to being back at this place. He was here for a little bit by himself before Connor and Martha found him. His face is still and steady. I can see a glimpse of fear in his eyes, but I think the dream catcher is keeping him calm. Lucky duck. Are you ready? He asks me. They didn't hurt me, but they definitely scare jump you. Well, they didn't hurt me because I ran away, so I guess I don't know for sure. How comforting, I say sarcastically. We got this. He takes my hand and leads me into the haunted barn. A small entrance is located near the back corner, just like the secret hole in Dixie's barn. This one, however, is jagged and looks as though it could crumble at any second. Carefully sliding my legs in one at a time, I duck my head. The instant my feet touch the inside of the barn, my body goes cold. My skin turns pale, and the wind is knocked right out of me. Easy now, Danny says, catching my imbalanced body. It's a bit overwhelming at first, but you'll get used to it. Steadying both feet firmly to the ground, I shake off any dizziness I may have felt. I guess people were right about haunted places. The air is musty, stiff, and the smell of molding wood is hard to miss. Taking my bracelet, I use it to pull my hair back into a ponytail, allowing myself to see better. Barrels of hay are stocked up to the right corner, nearly reaching the ceiling, just like in Dixie's barn. We are searching for a lost soul, Danny says, looking around, waiting. I glance at him, then around the barn, then back at him. Did he think the soul would just pop out? How about we just go look for it? I suggest, keeping the judgmental thoughts to myself. Geez, this broomstick is a burden. I walk towards the mountain of hay, wiggling a few to see how sturdy they are. Propping myself up with my good arm, I climb onto the first row, then the next, until I am at least 10 feet in the air. Please be careful, Danny says. I am, I call down to him. There's a big pile of hay there if I fall. Dixie and I did this all the time at her place. Don't you remember? Yeah, I do, he answers. I also remember someone falling and getting stitches. Recall any memories? And with that, I look down at my ankle and my lovely scar. Totally worth it. As I reach for the next barrel, I scream at the sight of a blue ghost popping out of the mound of hay, launching at my face. Jumping back, I lose my grip and slip off the barrel. Tori! I hear Danny's voice cry as my body falls through the air, feeling as though I'm in slow motion. The rush of wind feels slow. I can feel each goosebump on my skin. Each breath can be heard in my head. The room around me falls so slow that I'm convinced time has stopped. I know I'm moving, but I've barely fallen a foot. The ghost makes eye contact with me, then smiles. Welcome to our realm, dearie. It points around to the rest of the room. At least 10 other ghosts fly around the barn, talking, rushing, or playing. Frightened, I look back at the ghost. Am I dead? I ask it, and it laughs. Not permanently. If your brother can save you, then no. It points down at the ground. I see my body laying in the pile of hay with Danny trying to shake me back to consciousness. Didn't see that wooden crate under the hay, huh? The ghost asks. I cringe, realizing I had been so reckless. Again. My brother and friends said this place was haunted, but by unfriendly ghosts, I say, casually floating in the air. Oh, that must have been Ricky and his annoying friends. The ghost waves its see-through hand. They like playing jokes on anyone who comes in here. They find it funny. I chuckle a little bit at the thought of Martha, Connor, and Danny being pranked by ghosts. I'm Tori, I say, reaching my hand out for a shake. Sammy! She reaches her hand out and grabs mine. Her hand feels like soft air, weightless and tender. My friends and I are looking for a lost soul. You got any here? Sammy giggles and I'm not sure how to react. Silly. We're all lost souls here. That's why we're here. Sammy gestures to the rotting barn. It's not like an old abandoned barn was our ideal home. We're homeless, and in Soul World, we call it lost. I nod as the pieces come together. Are you guys able to leave this place? I ask her, seeing if she'd be interested in being my lost soul. Sort of. Only if we're given permission to haunt someone. So basically, someone alive would have to allow me freedom to haunt them outside this barn. I could never leave them. Sammy sighs heavily. And as you'd imagine, not many offers come our way. Ghosts don't have the best reputation. Well, you could come with me, I say, probably faster than I should have. Sammy floats back, startled and excited. Really? She says, covering her mouth, even though I can still see it through her hands. Yeah, I say, still floating, but I notice I've dropped a foot or two finally. Like I said, we need a lost soul. We're trying to break the curse that holds us here. Worry breaks through Sammy's smile. Oh, okay. I guess I could try to help. Then she looks down. We'll also need you to be alive and not become like me. She has a point. Is there any way I can make my spirit go back into my body? I ask, realizing how crazy that sounds. Sammy shrugs. Don't go into the light? I'm not sure. I wasn't exactly good at it. And with that, we both burst out laughing. Chapter 21, Sweet, Sweet Songs, Dixie's Perspective. Tune in tomorrow.